Dinky Winky. You think the convenience store up the road has a bottle of hot sauce? They do. How's he gonna beat him? Like, what's confused?
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Oh my god, man. Got knocked down so hard and then he's fighting Patty Pimblett, who has been fighting long. There's no way he's like, he's gotta be like maybe top like 30.
Taxi. Slight icing. Oh, nigga, it's black truffle sauce. No, nigga, it's black truffle sauce. No, nigga, it's black truffle sauce. No, nigga, it's black truffle sauce. Poirier sauce. Is that Poirier sauce? No way. Dustin Poirier is my hero.
Who the fuck puts a bowl of pasta in a sink? Who does this? Seriously. What?
Sorry, Papa.
God damn it.
To all the comforters, we're here for you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
Hey Brianna, a slower upload.
Frontier Fiber gives you equal speeds.
Switch to Frontier Fiber Internet.
At the county jail again. Another day at the office. I'm gonna basically put on my prison jumpsuit and then I'm gonna basically volunteer to go to jail. I'm just hoping I don't get shot or tased while walking around the outside of a jail with this. I was wondering if I can speak to an officer. I was wondering if I could like volunteer to go to jail. Well, like basically my mom, she cooked tuna salad like the past 3 days. And I fucking hate tuna. Like, I hate tuna with a passion. So, I know you guys got some, like, banging meals in jail, right? And I was just hoping that maybe you could, like, make some room for me. Yeah, I actually had a question for you. So, basically, like, this girl I've been talking to, I think she's, like, into criminals because she has, like, a Ted Bundy fetish and everything. So, like, I'm trying to impress her. And I was actually wondering, like, do you think I could volunteer to go to jail? Just to kind of flex, like, what if you, like, release somebody? Let one of the white-collar guys out for, like, tax evasion or insurance fraud.
You need to shut that off.
Oh, that's just for her to see. Like, I'm trying to make a cool, like, TikTok edit.
Let me call the sergeant.
Alright.
Second, there is jail with they're going to take standing in front of me with the jail and put on a person. And a camera guy. I told them that we have to shut the camera off. And they're not doing it.
We can go up there if we can't film it here.
They want us to release something first so we can see a station movie. Because we want to talk to a girl that has a sex money fetish.
I want you thick, too.
My sergeant will come out,
Okay.
but he's gonna have to shut that off.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Is it illegal to film in here?
Well, I think what they're doing is not really on the up and off.
I mean, off and off.
I think she just like take them off jail in the basement or something. I mean, this is.
Oh, because, like,
Baby, shut your camera off.
I just don't fake anything, like,
You don't even know what I'm lying about.
does he have to, though, like, legally?
You have to shut it off if you want to continue to film.
I mean, we can just, like, leave, because I don't really want to stop filming.
Well, my sergeant's on the way out, so.
Legally, we can't film in here? Is that, like, not actually a law?
We don't even let the news crew in there.
Really?
Wait till the issue comes out. You can,
Pack it in Buffalo.
trust her.
Do you think she'll, like, understand what I was trying to get at? I mean, you've liked a person, right? You've had a crush on a person before. You know what it's like, right?
Oh, you get me?
You're 21.
So what's this guy?
Se les va el final de la temporada de béisbol. Cardinals se está lanzando una última ronda de Cuartos Rey. Remodelar nuevo. O un Santa Fe nuevo.
To do all this shit.
We're not
You right over
filming.
there?
The camera's this
Yeah,
way.
he's gonna record my shit.
What?
My
Yeah.
food.
Can't we, like, film any, like, officer that we want? Isn't that, like, the law?
And in every office that you want.
Any officer. Like, if you're a police
I
officer.
don't want to be filmed.
But you told us we couldn't film, like, it's not allowed. And then you changed your mind. I'm just saying you, like, changed your mind and you told us something.
Why are all the guys in there Like I like Kyle, but he's also super good. I'm gonna eat these expired ravioli.
Yeah.
Wow.
I broke some
Hello
scales.
everyone, I'm Fish and welcome back to City Skylines, where last time we unlocked the entire map, allowing us to finally get into oil, the most profitable thing in the game, and we went absolutely crazy extracting as much oil as we possibly could, because it's literally printing money. Except we can't get the money into our wallets, because as things were finishing up last time, everything started collapsing. We have a traffic apocalypse going on, and then...
Yo, prison's got
Welcome
one.
to my very first Cities Skylines 2 gameplay build. In this video we'll be starting...
No way.
Howdy, Matt.
Nathan Brad, I'm the new English teacher. Welcome everyone to my very first Cities Skylines 2 gameplay build. In this video we'll be starting a realistic American city from scratch, featuring a busy downtown, beautiful row house districts, parks, big industrial complexes, all the classic services, and to round it up, an extensive tram network. Before we start, I want to thank Paradox and Colors Lawler for this opportunity, and also make it clear that this is an early beta build of the game. It's not a finished product, so keep that in mind. The map we've chosen for our very first build is the Mountain Village, and it is gorgeous. Just look at some of these cinematic shots that I've taken, just beautiful. The only change I've made to this map is a slight change in the starting road layout and planting a lot of trees. And if you enjoy my content, hit the like button and consider subscribing. Many thanks. Alright, we are ready to establish the city of Riverview. I know, very creative. And we better get going because we've got a few guidelines from Paradox we have to follow. So the first one is we cannot progress beyond the Grand Village milestone. And the second one is this video cannot be more than 30 minutes, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge for me as well. Being that we're going for a realistic American theme, we're going to go with a pretty simple grid format as like for our roads. It's also going to make the assets stand out a little better because we of course don't have any mods, so we'll have to zone. Happy to announce that the assets in this game look absolutely fantastic, but you'll get to see that in just a few moments. The first thing I'm gonna do before I zone is I'm just going to frame this park in here. Trees take quite a while to grow, at least in the game right now. So the trees that are already grown here, I want to turn into a bit of a park really. And we're just gonna add like a small road back here, and then we'll turn this whole thing into a park. I want downtown to be in very close vicinity to the intersection we have here to connect it all up, and the street layout, as I said, is going to be a pretty basic grid. Something you'll notice is that there is a ton of nice flexibility in the road tooling, and you can pretty much just drag roads straight through other roads, and yeah, it just makes the whole network placement process much easier. Let's get going. Alright, we've got it. Nathan Pratt, I'm the new English teacher. Alright, we've got ourselves a pretty basic grid here, the start of Riverview, and you saw me use two different roads. So I use this basic road, which has parking on either side. We all know this one from Cities Skylines 1 basically. And then I use this alley road throughout to create much of the suburban areas. I like this road because it's much more narrow, it has a smaller footprint, it doesn't allow for parking, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked something in between. And then I've used roundabouts to end some of these nodes here. I don't have cul-de-sacs available, so this is like the second best thing, and I think it looks a bit like cul-de-sacs at least, and you know, they love cul-de-sacs in the US, so yeah, we're going with it. Anyways, this is a pretty good starting point, pretty happy with this. As I said, the downtown core is going to be situated here around, not Pine Street, let's just call this bad boy Main Street. There you go, and it crosses with Amity Street, or like the center of the city, and I think that's just fine. Next up, for any start of the city, we're going to have to add some utilities, and this has been made much easier and much more flexible in Cities Skylines 2. Very happy with this change. So, as you guys probably saw in the developer diaries, we are able to tap into the utilities from neighboring cities. So instead of having to build a coal power plant, for instance, of my own, which is 100,000 credits, or like 25% of my current capital, I'll be able to place down a transformer station instead, and then just hook up to our neighboring city's electrical grid. Of course, we'll be paying for this, but it's actually not too bad, and you can go for a very long time before you actually wanna create an electrical grid of your own. Likewise, you can export your surplus power if you do have your own electrical grid. So just place down the transformer station, I connected these big power lines to it, and then we're going to draw some electrical cables, and we just need to find a road network where we can place it, and there you go, we're all connected up. As you guys should know by now, electricity is transferred by roads, which is a very nice change, makes it a little easier. Just going to connect this one up as well for aesthetic.
Nice, so in the next City Skylines game, in the next City Skylines game, you don't have to build a bunch of fucking power lines. The electricity transfers via the road. So
I'm 31. I just this year found out.
Power plant. You can tap into there's like a electrical wires going like on the side of your city, and you can tap into it. It's like neighboring cities, right? And you can build a transformer center with lines through it. It is. Good traffic AI. It's going to crash cars.
We're going to talk about traffic AI in Cities Skylines 2. Now, this is something that could...
Cities Skylines 2. Today we're going to talk about traffic AI in Cities Skylines 2.
Saudi Arabia. You may have heard about this little...
Have you seen the Andrew Santino,
With Bobby, whatever the, yes.
or Andrew Schultz with Mel? Have you seen that? Watch that.
Hello everyone, and welcome back once again
What's
to
that?
our Lord's
Watch it.
second playthrough.
It's funny.
I love this so much that
Watch
it
it.
has...
I'm serious. Just watch.
Just get on them like every other person does.
Just go on there and watch.
To try to survive the next 100 days...
For a moment, it's like Andrew Schultz just like having snagging.
Fucking Sonny ever do to anybody, nigga. Tired of the hate.
He's annoying.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say or do anything
He's
bad.
annoying and retarded.
He isn't.
Look at that video there. Andrew Schultz, no. Okay, look at it. Look at it.
Whose land is this?
Okay.
I was tardy to the party on this subject, and I'm downright ashamed of myself for being this late. I need to be more educated on alpha male boot camps because this is glorious. A lot of YouTubers have talked about this recently. It's called the NDK Project, the Modern Day Night Project. And basically, you pay $18,000 to spend 3 days getting blasted with a hose and digging your own grave while being yelled at. But you know what, let's go ahead and hear them out. How much does this project cost? The project is $18,000. However, this is not just for the 75-hour experience, but also a 12-month in-depth coaching and mentorship program that focuses on developing an even higher level of personal excellence, self-mastery, leadership, and even more financial freedom. More like the lack thereof financial freedom. $18,000 in the shitter for this, and all you do is get a monthly Zoom call with some goofballs that'll just bestow upon you the wisdom of drop shipping. But, sorry, there's still a very important sentence here. But the cost of not experiencing the project and mastermind and not becoming the leader, husband, and father you're meant to be is much more expensive in the long run. I'm convinced. Sign me up. I'm losing money by not investing in this course right now. $18,000 to get shot with a hose sounds pretty good when they put it this way. Because I wasn't thinking long term, right? It's $18,000 now up front into their piggy bank, but think about 10 years from now. It's going to cost me so much more money by not having that experience, because then I'm not going to be the leader and husband I was meant to be. Because as a leader and a husband, you're always getting hit with hoses. So we need to learn how to defend ourselves and how to become a real man. And the only way to do that is by taking this 3-day course where you just get waterboarded and yelled at. And also the Zoom call is a nice cherry on top. Who doesn't want a monthly Zoom call with the boys, especially when they're as successful as these gentlemen here? Look at this star-studded cast of superstars. World champion athletes, special operation vets, world-class thought leaders. Which, by the way, I love that term, a thought leader. I think about success. I'm one of the best people in the world at thinking about being successful. You need to learn from my thoughts. I know it has a real definition, but it's still so fucking goofy that they advertise that here. And of course, 8 to 9 figure generating entrepreneurs. And also, the head honcho is going to share with you the same empire building strategies that he used to create multiple 7, 8, and 9 figure companies from the ground up. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the Krabby Patty secret formula even without investing the $18,000. Hopefully this doesn't get me sued. I imagine those galaxy brain lucrative strategies all revolved around taking advantage of desperate, vulnerable men that are willing to pay $18,000 to LARP as some kind of soldier for 3 days under the impression that it's somehow going to make them a better man or a more financially successful one. I'm just spitballing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break the magician's code, but I think that's probably how he generates so much money, is by exploiting that desperation. These men are sadly the coin block, and he is Mario, constantly They help tap into that and help you heal from trauma, for starters.
Shut up! One more fucking word, you're gone! I'm not fucking around! Shut up! Stop rolling your fucking eyes! Stop asking for fucking electrolytes! And be a fucking man! I don't give a fuck what you do with your own. You are not impressing me here with your little fucking machines and shit. You're good because you have all these fucking comforts. Shut the fuck up and be a team player and go fucking do the team. You say another fucking word, you're gone.
That just healed my trauma witnessing that. That was worth every penny of the $18,000 to go there and get fucking yelled at for I don't know what. Talking about some kind of machines. I don't know if this guy was building drones. He must be like Jimmy Neutron with all kinds of inventions that he's letting loose at the facility. I don't know. I don't know what he was getting yelled at because it wasn't very clear. He just keeps telling him to shut up, even though the guy hasn't said a word or anything at all. He's just standing there taking it.
Look at his shirt. Are we lying? Just water, Kowalski. Stop being a little girl.
The more you do it, the more you're gonna fucking get it.
Keep the fucking down. It's water. You were just in the fucking ocean. This is fresh water. You grew up doing this as a kid. How about you on your feet?
I don't know why they're so fixated on water. I think they just saw that in an action movie one time and realized, damn, we've got to integrate this into the program. Because like half of the clips they showcase is just them spraying the people with hoses. And then like occasionally pseudo waterboarding them. Imagine paying $18,000 to get waterboarded. What an experience. And also, half of these videos just have them laying on the ground, either crawling around, or just getting sprayed with water, or having them get hit with waves in the ocean as they lay on the beach. Like, they are laying down more often than a vampire in a coffin. Like, what is this supposed to teach you? They just lay down and take punishment forever? And we're also going to yell at you because fuck you, but thanks for the money. This is basically just teaching you when the going gets tough, lay down and give up. And then do it with a smile on your face and no money to your name. It all runs so counterintuitive. Yes. Because that's all you're fucking teaching. I had to mute this audio because it was copyright, but it's just the same old hoopla everyone's heard a million times. Your wife didn't marry a boy, she didn't want another son, she wanted a man. And to be a man, you gotta be confident, you gotta be capable, courageous, you have to have the ability to protect him by any means necessary. And of course, you've always got to be prepped for the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is draining $18,000 from the joint bank account to go behind your wife's back for a little 3-day excursion field trip with your boys, pretending that you're getting some kind of valuable lesson on being a real man. That is the last thing your wife is going to want. Like, he's saying all of this on top of footage where one of the students is digging his own grave. That's one of their... I don't even know what to call them, exercises? Not an exercise. Playtime activities? I don't really know, but it's on their rubric, I guess.
Compared to a rental car and car sharing sites to help you save money. Download the Kayak app now.
Mexican flavors and real chicken. Crave the day with El Monterey.
The Patrick CC video I made about Drake and Josh. I've actually been meaning to watch that. Thank you for reminding me. This keeps hitting my YouTube recommended, and I've really wanted to check it out. I don't know the whole history between Drake and Josh, but I think, like everyone else, I believe they were good friends off air. But it seems like that was never really the case.
Yeah, while filming one of the last episodes of the season where Drake and Josh fight over a shrimp, Stephen Millaro, who was a writer on The Amanda Show, walked over to Dan and was like, "Those two guys are your buddy comedy right there."
Goddamn, Snyder's such a fucking creepy guy. Good lord. I'm surprised he didn't pitch Dan on like a foot-centric TV show. What is Dan doing now? I know he's fired from Nickelodeon, but what is he currently doing? Does anyone know off the top of your head? I can look it up, but I'd rather just see Chat's fan theories, I guess. Someone has to know. OnlyFans? Nah, I doubt that. Oh, maybe like subscribing to every OnlyFans ever. Possibly. Yeah, he got fired from Well, I don't even know if he got fired. He left Nickelodeon. Dan was already making a foot-centric show called iCarly. Fucking true. Running a foot massage parlor in Thailand. So no one knows what Dan Snyder's doing? I'll look it up myself, I suppose. What are you up to, Dan? Dan Schneider controversy about verbal abuse and maltreatment of young actors. This is brand new. Is he still under investigation? Oh man, anyone remember this theory? I highly doubt this is ever true. But when Zoe Spears got pregnant and had to leave Zoe 101 shortly thereafter, the rumor was that it was Dan Schneider's kid. There was like a whole bunch of like crazy fan theories on how that was possible and why that was likely. Or Jamie Lynn Spears, sorry. Zoe 101, Jamie Lynn Spears, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Deadline reported in July 2021, an investigation by Viacom discovered that Schneider was allegedly yelling at young performers, throwing tantrums, and sending angry emails and texts to them outside of working hours. He apparently requested massages for his shoulders and neck as well from the kids. That definitely sounds like Dan Schneider. Producer tells New York Times via People that he never dealt with performers in any way, texting or otherwise, that should make anyone uncomfortable. When someone says that, it just makes me uncomfortable. That makes me think that you were doing something that would make me uncomfortable. A number of well-known performers, including some who are underage, had expressed their displeasure with the uproar surrounding the photos of their feet. I couldn't and I wouldn't have the friendships and loyalties of so many individuals of good standing, he explained. Yeah, the feet pics were really weird. Early on in Twitter's infancy, he ran this Twitter campaign to have kids send pictures of their feet. It was like an iCarly thing, but they were sending the feet pics to Dan for some reason. Dan was described by former co-workers as demanding and vindictive. In addition to interviewing Dan Schneider's producer, the New York Times spoke to people from Schneider's history. Schneider and Gradstein worked on 4 shows together, and Gradstein remembers how stressful their cooperation was. He could be generous and affirming, and it was wonderful to be in the presence of his talent and passion for making entertainment. His demands were unnecessarily high, and his controlling demeanor, lacked restraint or business etiquette. Does anyone remember, what's her name? Is her name Jeanette McCurdy? Might have been, from iCarly. She quit acting altogether because her mom was apparently very awful, like very controlling. And Tiana told me the other day that Jeanette McCurdy even had like a song or a book or something called "I'm Glad My Mom Died" or something fucking intense like that. I'm getting off topic, but does anyone remember if she said Dan Schneider was good or bad? Because she said something about Dan Schneider, and I don't remember if it was positive or negative. Does anyone remember? Bad for sure. For some reason, I believe she said that it was something positive with Dan. I'm just going to look it up myself. Oh my god, that's Dan? Wow, this is... Whoa. That is absolutely someone that would have turned up to like a Chris Hansen investigation. This is... Who is this? Oh, this isn't Dan. Wait, what? Who is this? Oh god. Oh no. Oh, he looks like Dan, and this guy... Oh shit. It is Dan? No, fuck. I'm just gonna double check myself. It can be remembered that in 2013 she shared a Vine video addressed to Schneider, which some say was a cry for help. McCurdy ended that post with, "Look what you've done to me. Look what you've done to me." I don't remember that. In 2014, and what other things was a rebuke, she and Cosgrove did not attend the 2014 Kids' Choice Awards when Schneider was the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award. In 2019, she opened up about her eating disorder, which started when she was 11. There are no direct statements towards Schneider's role in any of the issues, so fans continued to speculate. So did she not? I thought for sure she said something about Dan, and I really felt like she said something positive about him.
The first season was a little more typical to any sitcom, coming up with catchphrases and basic plot lines. Luckily, the show got much better after season 1. They consistently got themselves in ridiculous situations and had to either work together or...
Man, I remember like all of this shit.
They came up with a master plan to sell Gary Coleman grills, which got them in jail, versus when they were fighting each other over a foam finger. In the beginning...
Where's the GameCube? No, jeez.
Drake, on the other hand,
was it the Hypercube? Not the GameCube, that was real.
He wouldn't stand up for his brother Josh. His character remained the inconsiderate troublemaker, but now Josh was having more luck with girls.
I didn't remember getting so old in the show.
Great. Ultimately, at the end of every episode, they resolved their differences and concluded with a happy moment. These two just understood each other when it came to performing. Drake and Josh were the new age Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, Abbott and Costello, Martin and Lewis, Cheech and Chong, Keenan and Kel. They were so good it made us all believe that they were best friends beyond the screen, who had no way of showing Drake and Josh how much they loved the show. A lot of us forget that in 2005 there was barely any social media, no smartphones, no YouTube, no live follower accounts. They worked a 9 to 5 while other kids went to school, and they went home to their families every day just like anyone else. These two just did what most normal teens do. Go to parties, hang out with girls, maybe get in some trouble. Well, at least Drake did. Josh wasn't partying much. Josh was actually going through some really tough times. Josh Peck was raised by a single mother. He actually never met his father. He was always interested in being an entertainer, doing stand-up comedy at the age of 9 years old because anything athletic was definitely out of the question. However, he always wanted to fit in. Being an
The confidence to do stand-up comedy in general is outrageous. I can't even imagine it as a kid. Well, actually, it might be easier as a kid, because what asshole's going to start heckling a kid? You get a 9-year-old up on stage at the Laugh Factory. I don't think you're going to have, like, some guy booing and throwing cocktails at him or anything, so maybe that really helped with confidence. I don't know. But stand-up comedy's got to be, like, one of the scariest things to do for a human being. To put yourself up there and just potentially bomb in front of that many people has to be the most embarrassing feeling ever. I couldn't imagine that shit.
I always get what I want.
Especially not as like a kid.
He was known as the Fat Funny Punching Bag, who brought way more comedic value to the scene. When we watch these old episodes, we feel happy. Josh sees an underappreciated, depressed, overweight, and insecure child.
Oh man, is that a... I do this all the fucking time. I point at the computer screen as if you guys can see what the fuck I'm pointing at. This is from that movie where he's on that boat, and he just starts like insulting that kid, right? And he's like, "Your dad sucks. Your dad's a real piece of shit. Your dad's dead. Your dad's fucking awful. I fucking hate you. Your dad's awful. Yeah, Mean Creek. That clip is iconic. Yeah, it even drops a slur. That shit was crazy. I remember seeing that when I was younger. I was like, oh my god, what episode of Drake and Josh was this? Oh, good lord, was that the season finale? Yeah, I've never seen Mean Creek. I've only ever seen that clip. And I don't even want to see the whole movie now. It just went so hard.
Stamos.
Hey, John Stamos.
Creators on Vine, which is where he would eventually meet David Dobrik, the Paul Brothers, the Blog Squad, and become a popular influencer on YouTube with millions of subscribers.
He is
Drake
big on
hung around Nickelodeon a little longer. He did star in a terrible, super bad remake movie called College, as well as a poorly received spoof comedy superhero movie.
Wait a minute, what is that one? College?
A remake movie called College.
I love shitty movies. I've never even heard of this. From the guys that brought you Waiting. That movie's a classic. How did they fuck this up? Has anyone seen this? Is it really bad? Yeah, it's awful. It's so bad. Is it fun bad or boring bad? Because bad comedies are usually not really fun bad. It is really boring. Just boring bad. Oh, that's disappointing. 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, that makes me want to watch it. I just hate boring bad. Boring bad's a waste of time.
We thought Drake would be the best man. Turns out, he didn't even know about the wedding. The story blew up bigger than Drake could imagine. Thankfully, a couple months later, they made up and did some YouTube content together.
Back together again, we're all good.
Then they both spent the next...
Wow, that seems so fake.
They made up and did some YouTube content together.
Back together again, we're all good.
Oh, that's just painful. Oh, that just hurts to, like, hear. Ooh, man, these are two dudes that really just do not like each other. Holy shit. I think Josh Peck is probably, like, a pretty nice guy. But there's something about him. Every video I've ever seen of him, like, it's his eyes. They tell me, like, there's some, like, evil in there. Like, there's some, like, deep-rooted malice in that soul. And I don't know why I get that impression, but, like, when he smiles, like, his eyes don't. You know what I mean? It's just, I just get, like, this really weird sensation when I, like, see him do, like, smiles or, like, really happy stuff. Again, I'm sure that he's, like, a nice guy and, like, a genuinely wholesome person. I'd be lying if I said I just didn't get that, like, tingle in my sack that tells me this might be the devil. Might be, like, the devil in disguise or some shit.
Oh, we're together. What else needs to happen, everybody?
In 2019, Josh came up with the idea to do a reboot of their classic show. The name of the reboot, Josh and Drake.
Oh,
Things got weird. The idea was that Drake was going to be a failed musician and Josh was a successful real estate agent. They were basically parodying Drake's real life as a musician in Mexico, while Josh's character was a totally made-up life. Maybe they were trying to get back at Drake.
That's so fucked up. Like, it's like genuinely fucked.
The opening line in the very first episode was supposed to be, "Hug yourself, Ted," instead of their trademark
What?
which would have just been a slap in the face to the family.
What? This can't be real. This can't be real. Bro, how much does Josh hate Drake? Oh my. There's no way that's real. So the whole show is basically Josh just fucking Gangnam styling on the corpse of Drake's career. You did sense the evil after all. Bro, I've always said that. I have always believed that. There is some kind of demon living in there. This was 100% real. I just don't believe that. Like, that first line is so goofily evil. Like, comically, like, cartoonishly villainous. I just don't think that's right. And I don't think the concept of the show is ever Drake is a failed musician and I'm a super Giga Chad successful guy. I just really don't think so. It seems really made up. But maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know.
Then it transitions to Drake in Mexico performing at a quinceañera for the daughter of a drug cartel leader, where they're all drinking and doing hard drugs, which leads to a gunfight, and then they don't want to give Drake his money, which is all a super stereotypical way that Americans convey Mexican culture.
No fucking way.
Drake didn't want to do the Drake and Josh reboot without making some creative changes, because he didn't want to disrespect his Mexican fans. Josh wouldn't let Drake make those creative changes, and shortly after that, Drake started getting into his legal trouble.
There's no way. There's just no way. Oh, I gotta look that up. This doesn't sound like a Drake and Josh reboot at all. This sounds like Josh tried to direct like the next John Wick, but also by shitting on Drake and making fun of him to his face. Oh, here we go. They also spilled details about the previously teased, now scrapped Drake and Josh revival series written by Josh himself that reportedly included offensive stereotypes about Mexican people. Is Pop Buzz okay, probably not reliable. But apparently this comes from a podcast interview, and it's Drake telling the story, so it also could just be made up. I would need to see the script. I have to. There's no fucking way Josh wrote some shit like that. No one would write shit like that. The pilot script's opening scene is said to have included a fan reciting the iconic "Hug Me Brother" line to Josh, who then replies, "Hug yourself, fuckhead." Nah, man, this isn't real. I'm sure there was like an attempt to bring back Drake and Josh at some level, but not like this, I don't think. Reading the script from an email on her phone. Her father, Enrique, the head of the cartel, sits in the middle of the party at a table surrounded by guards and beautiful women. Think Escobar Chapo. Drake is on stage, backed by a mariachi band. People drink copious amounts of alcohol and ingest other illicit substances. I mean, maybe. She read it from an email on her phone. I wish she just dropped the script. Like, just post it. And then prove to me it's Josh that wrote it. This is fucking wild.
However, he only admitted guilt of sending text messages that were sexual and then stopped once he was aware of the victim's age. The situation is definitely creepy, and there are a lot of other factors
really fucking creepy
which have been broken down extensively on YouTube.
But that trial spawned a pretty wacky meme. I showed this meme before, if anyone remember this.
The gem of the month and birthstone for September is the rich blue sapphire. It's celebrated as the 5th and 45th wedding anniversary stone and symbolizes sincerity, truth, and faithfulness. Only at the Golden Dinosaur.
Since it was so public on Zoom that people got to run wild with the meme.
You'll hear this after this.
It's pretty good. I'm not a big meme guy. This had me giggling.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really, no.
He told a number of different lies on these podcasts that are starting to make fans question everything.
I knew that Drake and I didn't stay in touch for the 10 years since we had made the show, but no one needed to know that.
Here they are in 2012 at what appears to be a house. Here they are spending Christmas together in 2013. Here are multiple instances of them hanging out in 2014. In 2015, they had Drake come on Josh's show, Grandfather.
But I think it's just
what a weird thing to lie about.
Working together again, and obviously we love each other.
Plus, Drake says that they talked when Josh announced that he was engaged. To suggest that they at least didn't stay in touch is wild.
He was surprised he wasn't invited then? If he's going bananas on you?
He's surprised, but then he takes to the internet and he starts writing these tweets that immediately catch fire. I was at the Video Music Awards and I see him there and he sees me. And I go up to him, and this might be the most Sopranos thing I've ever done. And I look at him and I go apologize to my wife right now.
Josh literally filmed himself walking up to Drake. Does this look like how a gangster moves?
And is that the last communication?
That was pretty intense. That was pretty cool.
The VMAs was in August of 2017. Since then, they have filmed multiple YouTube videos together, worked on Drake and Josh reboot, and I can only imagine they spent time together in their personal lives as well. That is not even close to the last time that they've had communication. Drake just recently started a podcast called Drake and Janet, with the same branding, which is just kind of weird, but I'll let it go. Drake still...
No, it's like the best thing in his life. Let it ride.
And one who could have ever guessed that their real-life situation would turn out exactly like the episode Josh has done.
Come on, dude, I said I was sorry.
Oh, I remember this episode.
Look, man. Steve up. What is that supposed to mean? I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Josh, what? I'm sorry. Look, let me finish, okay? I was wrong, okay? I was wrong.
A throwback.
I need you more than you need me. I need you way more than you need me, alright? I'm sorry. I just need you to understand that I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry.
Oh, what a powerful ending. Damn. Good lord. Yeah, what a wild rabbit hole. Exit Prime. Infernoc. That was depressing. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing Drake can do to, reconcile. He literally pled guilty to some absolutely heinous shit. But I think Josh also isn't the greatest of people, to be fair. It doesn't seem like he's done anything, questionable criminal or anything like that, but the dude just seems to be kind of like a liar and a little unhinged with that Josh and Drake script. Watched the Rob video from the last dude. Oh yeah, I saw that underneath there. How Rob Dyrdek controlled MTV for 15 years. They were desperate. Rob Dyrdek was a god. I mean, it still kind of is. Rob Dyrdek is almost solely responsible for, oh god, what the fuck? Robin Big, Fantasy Factory, okay, yeah. And Ridiculousness, okay. Yeah, okay, we'll watch this.
Cable internet?
Yeah.
Why pay for internet with slower uploads? Switch to Frontier Fiber Internet.
For Mix and Match from Domino's, you can get more than just your favorite pizza. You can get specialty chicken, safe.
When's it dropping? In the next couple weeks, we have to, really take our time editing this one and give it the utmost care, because this isn't just any predator that we caught here. This is EDP. The EDP. So, when's court? I don't know yet. We still haven't heard anything from the detectives, so it's hard to say. So, a little bit of backstory. How it started was this guy, EDP, reached out to, this 15-year-old girl on, I think it was on Instagram, and sparked up, the conversation with her. And then, she reported it to me and Jadian. And, basically, long story short, we got, permission from the girl's parents to kind of keep it going. And after we had enough evidence, we had to meet up with the EDP here. We put a PI on him for a few days. We found out where his dialysis appointment was going to be, at what time and all that, and we just pulled up to the appointment. So, that's, long story short, that's how it started. And as we went to go get him at his dialysis appointment, the girl's parents went to the police and, tried to press charges against EDP, against Brian. We didn't get a fist bump this time, though, unfortunately. It looks like he might actually be going away this time. Maybe. I mean, like I said, we still haven't heard anything from the detectives. So, we'll see when we get there. But regardless, we do have permission to drop the video. But it just has to be edited at this point. So, give us a few weeks, guys. We'll have the video out for you. But as you guys know, it's going to be on locals first, as a lot of you probably know. Definitely going to be on locals first. Now, I have the video. I have the video ready, actually. But I can't even put it on locals yet, because if I put it on there right now, someone's going to leak it. I already know. And we can't have the video leaking this soon. So, a few days before it goes on YouTube, it'll for sure be on locals. Yes, Jeff, I can't believe
EDP got caught again. Thanks for the $4.99, by the way. I do hit the gym once in a while. Yes, more than EDP does, that's for sure. Yo, Country Boy, thanks for the 5 there. What percent of people back off when the decoy reveals they're underage? It's probably like 50-60%. But let's keep the questions EDP related though, guys, please. Shark Man, thanks for the 2. No, EDP did not learn his lesson. I think he just needs to. I think he just needs to be, in prison at this point. I don't think he's going to stop. He's been doing it for a couple of years. He was actually talking to the girl, like right when he came out with that apology video. If you guys remember that apology video. Yeah, so it's crazy stuff. Oh, it's like EDP in the chat here. It says, I'm gonna get my get back before I go. Be you ready yet, man? Alright, EDP, I'm here. If you, whatever you're trying to do, I'll be waiting for you. What excuse did he give? He didn't really give an excuse. I can't really go too into it, but he was mad. He was mad that he got caught. Yeah, we for sure offered him a cupcake. A cupcake. Definitely. Video's probably gonna drop in a couple weeks. Yeah, it seems that, all Eagles fans do like cupcakes. Honestly, the only thing that would have made it better is if he was actually wearing his jersey when we got him. But I guess he doesn't pull up to his dialysis appointments with the jersey on. So Real Metal, thanks for the 10. Yes, we are on the way to $1 million, y'all. It's coming. It is coming. Yes, locals will get the EDP video early. It'll probably be like a few days before it's on YouTube. So just be on the lookout for it. Oh yeah, cops are involved. Cops are definitely involved with this. They have everything. Cupcake emojis in the chat, y'all. You know, 336 long haul. Thanks for the 10 there. Appreciate that. When did it happen? This happened it was like a month ago. It happened a month ago. We got the information 2 weeks before we caught him, and we just flew to Vegas and we caught him. Well, I think what happened to EDP in prison, there's probably a lot of, cupcake lovers in prison, so depending on which one he goes to, he might be alright. But if there's not that many cupcake lovers in prison, I don't know, he might not be alright. It's hard to say. He probably won't